Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Jnanatimarandasya Gyanandana Salakya Chakshuramilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kalamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sigaro Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Scha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Vidam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Visavana Sutta Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakadruvyacha Kripa Sindhuvyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his direct consort, Srimati Radharani, in the presence of the demigods, in the presence of many great acharyas, who will all be here today, and in the presence of His Holiness Hanumat Presaka Swami, which is a great blessing, and in the presence of all the Vaishnavas, we are now performing this initiation ceremony, which is a wonderful, auspicious occasion. It is a festival of blessings, and should be seen like that. We are not the doer. We are not the one who is in control, and it's not, we'll be taking initiation, although the English expression is like that, we're taking it, but we'll be receiving, really, receiving the mercy coming down through the disciplic succession. And of course, yes, we must open to that mercy and take shelter. And in that sense, yes, we are taking shelter. It is through the process of devotional service that one becomes empowered. And it is through that empowerment that we will be able to do things that otherwise are not possible. Who can live by such rules and regulations? Who can somehow or other never slip in a lifetime? Lifetime is long. Slips happen easily. Little mistake that may. But by Krishna's mercy, and by always taking shelter of Krishna's mercy again and again, that is how it becomes possible. What otherwise is not possible, actually. So we can only make such promises in a spirit of depending on Krishna very much. We chant our rounds depending on Krishna. We promise to chant rounds, but we can only finish them by the mercy of Krishna. We promise to follow principles. We can only do it by the mercy of Krishna. In the second initiation, we're meant to be saintly persons. How can we be saintly persons? It is very, very difficult to be saintly in this age of Kali especially, and in any age. To be completely transparent to Krishna, to adjust, to give up our minute independence and to just align ourselves with Krishna's will. That is not easy. So we pray. Therefore, there is a prayer in this ceremony. We are praying to the Supreme Lord. Krishna is here. We're praying for the blessings of all the Vaishnavas. It is that prayer that is making us take shelter. So the essence of the whole initiation is taking shelter. Even if we are not saintly, we take shelter of the behavior of saintly persons. And maybe one day that will make us saintly. I mean, who knows? That behavior, known as Sadachar, is not just an invention. It is not just a concoction. It is not just something that was invented in this world, but rather it was revealed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore it is perfect. So if we take shelter of whatever path Krishna has given, then we can change, and then we can get strength, and then it will be done. So it takes faith. Definitely. We must have that faith. It is that faith that if we take shelter in Krishna, that everything will be all right. There are so many little things, and all these little things, little by little, we surrender. Sometimes we say, instead of focusing on what you cannot do, let's focus on what we can do. And let's do all the things that we can do. And that will give us strength. Every little bit of surrender will give us strength. Krishna consciousness is not one decision. I will be Krishna conscious or not. Right? And now I have to take this decision. It is not one decision. It is a package. It is a full package of many activities. It is a full package of mercy that comes in many forms. Today I'm somehow or other, by a quirk of fate, sitting here and the mercy of the Vaishnavas, sitting here as the initiating spiritual master. But Guru is one. Vande Gurun Isa Bhaktam Isa Avatarakam. Vande Gurun, Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying plural. He is worshipping the spiritual masters. And in this way, we are not just taking shelter of one spiritual master. I know only my spiritual master and no other. No, we are open to the mercy of all. We try and serve, we try and hear, we try and learn, we try somehow or other, sato vritti, to follow in the footsteps. Of course, our own spiritual master is with us. He is our personal well-wisher. He's there with us as a personal friend. He knows us. He knows about our strength. He knows about our weaknesses. So he'll try and his best to support us, to guide us, to be there. So we're certainly not alone in this. So as I said, the mercy comes in many ways. The mercy comes in the form of the holy name. The mercy comes in the form of the scriptures. Comes in the form of the deities. Comes in the form of the Vaishnavas. Comes in the form of the holy Dham. And these are only like the 5 principal limbs of bhakti. But the mercy comes in many ways. The one book that systematically gives us an overview of really what we are supposed to do after initiation is the nectar of devotion. Because the nectar of devotion is Rupa Goswami's handbook for Krishna consciousness. It is the book where he describes exactly how to cultivate one's attachment to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada in the introduction describes how everyone has a loving propensity, but how the loving propensity has somehow or other become misdirected. And we invest that love in so many things, and that love has to be redirected towards Krishna. Then the nectar of devotion describes how to do that and how to cultivate that love. So, especially the first 19 chapters are dealing with with sadhana bhakti, a little bit with bhava bhakti, a little bit with prem. And then the remainder of the nectar devotion is describing more advanced stages of devotional service. And it's also inspiring to read, but not immediately the order of the day. It describes all kinds of ecstatic symptoms, and we don't have those 20 times a day. So we don't really need to read a lot about that. But about the cultivation, how to cultivate spiritual life. So today we take that cultivation a step further, and we already started that cultivation, but we are connecting with the mercy of the parampara. When vows are taken, it is not that just these vows are given to the spiritual master, not just to Kadamba Kanana Swami. One might think, who's Kadamba Kanana? After a few years, not now, but not today. Not today, but after a few years, you might just start thinking, who's Kadamba Kanana Swami anyway? He's nice, but. And you think, And I took those vows then. But I have changed now. And life has changed, and I just can't relate to it any longer. And then think, so therefore I don't feel obliged to follow. No. Sometimes we hear like this. No. First of all, you're not making the vow to Kadamba Kanana Swami because he's just here as a representative. He is here as the representative of Krishna. He is here as the representative of all the previous acharyas. He is here as the representative of the scriptures. And therefore, through him and through that disciplic succession, we are making our vows to Krishna. And therefore, you can't take him back. Whatever you give to Krishna, you can't take it back. The vows will stay with us. We can go away, but the vows are already waiting for wherever we go. So that's the more serious element of taking initiation. That yes, it's an irreversible step. But what great fortune to take such a step. What great fortune, because yes, it is the end of our stay in the material world. We are now on the way back to the spiritual world. Everything is auspicious, everything is open. And now we have to gain strength. Strength comes from taking shelter. Taking shelter of chanting, taking shelter of early rising, so that there is time to chant. Somehow or other. When there's no time to chant, then the only option is to adjust the clock and rise earlier. That's the only way. And say, yes, but the children, they are up. Then they also have to adjust the clock, adjust their clock as well. Right. If the children are up late at night, better wake them earlier, somehow or other. It's easy. I travel a lot, and we have to change time all the time. I had to change 9 hours to come to Australia. It's like I went 9 hours ahead. Okay, I did it. Took a few days, but then I adjusted. I think Maharaj came from far, America? Bombay. 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours. So, like this, also, adjustments. So a little time adjustment and suddenly we can chant. Simple. To chant 16 rounds, it's not enough to have the desire. It begins there, that is good. But then it must be followed by a plan. 16 rounds require a plan, otherwise it's very hard. Otherwise life will just take over. I already planned an escape in the middle of the day today to finish my rounds. And it's well planned. I looked at it and think, okay, this is the slot. And then I disappear and suddenly I'll be gone and I'll be chanting. Like that, a plan. A plan is required to somehow or other bring this all to a success. Then we can make so many plans, we can do so many things, but at the same time we're dealing with our own mind. And that mind is very strong. And it goes here, there and everywhere, and it doesn't listen. It seems to have a will of its own. What to do? One thing we can do is just read the Bhagavatam. It is just amazing. See, this Bhagavatam is the Amala Purana. It is the spotless Purana. And also the purports of Srila Prabhupada, they are even more clear than the Bhagavatam itself. And they're also completely spotless. Prabhupada said, dictated by Krishna. Prabhupada used to be seen reading his own books. He said, oh, enjoy reading your own books, and no, these are not my books. Krishna dictated these books. Yes. And so, somehow or other, again, it's a matter of making that part of the day. So, somehow or other, every day, let us read. Even if it is one verse, one purport. No one can say he cannot read one verse, one purport. That is possible. When you're unconscious, I'll grant you that day. When you're in the hospital, if you're ever in a hospital unconscious, I will grant you that you cannot read, but then that's the only day. Any other day, not really. Can always find some opportunity. It's just our mind is saying, oh, I have no time, I have no time. Prabhupada gave this example of an old lady in Bengal who was told by her son at the end of her life that she should chant the name of Krishna. And, she's not doing it. And so the son is repeating it again and again, chant, chant, chant. And finally she just blurts out, what do you want? I'm dying. She can say that. She can say, what do you want? I'm dying, right, in Bengali. But she cannot say, Hare Krishna. Because she's dying. So, somehow or other, she wasted her energy on the wrong words. If she would have just said those names of Krishna. So it is a matter of adjusting. Prabhupada speaks about how the world is a world of question and answers. And everyone is just spending the whole day with question and answers. How are you? What do you want? Where do you go? What can I do for you? And so on. And can I get this? Do you know where is this? Do you know where is that? And but how about some questions and answers about Krishna every day? Little things. But all these little things become the source of so much strength. And all these little things, they will give us a lot of strength. I hear like my neighbor walking in the corridor and saying Hare Krishna or some prayer, and I think, oh, that is very nice. I should also do that. Just take advantage any moment to just remember Krishna. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu vismartavyo najatu sit. So that remembering is not just now I have to fix my mind. No, it is just do all these things. Make it a habit. Make it a habit. Just habits, they grow. After you do something for about 1 month, it's a habit. Whatever it is. So that's why this month of Kartik is very nice, because you can take some vow, and then after the end of the month it's a habit, and then there's a good chance that you'll continue it for the rest of the year. That was the idea, actually. So in this way we are practicing our spiritual life and building up a spiritual life. I will not now give a full lecture on the 10 offenses to be avoided in the matter of chanting the holy name. But I want to say, though, that these 10 offenses are important and that we should know them, we should memorize them. So if we don't know them exactly, then we can just print them out and post them on the wall somewhere so we can see them. Because if the 10 offenses, which basically involves respecting the Vaishnavas, respecting the scriptures, even respecting the demigods, but understanding that they're not equal to Krishna. So, by a respectful attitude towards scripture, towards the Lord, towards Vaishnavas, towards the holy name, then we can progress nicely in spiritual life. Otherwise, if we are careless, yes, then it will be hard. Inattentive chanting. Attentive chanting, Prabhupada said, means to hear oneself chanting. So somehow or other, hear ourselves chanting. So these are some points I want to make. I'm basically, with this lecture, trying to give some good advice before you will be alone with your vows. You'll take the vows, and then after you leave from here, you'll be alone again with the vows. I'll see you from time to time. I'll answer your letters also from time to time. Sometimes not. Or your WhatsApps, or your Facebook Messenger, or your whatever, or whatever comes floating in a bottle, or pigeons, whatever way you find to communicate. Telepathy, not too much of that, please. I want to sleep peacefully. I'm on another time zone. Anyway, communication, certainly we want to communicate, and we want to support everyone. But whatever the spiritual master says should not be taken as casual. It's not just, he suggested this, he suggested that. No. Whatever he says must be taken as very significant for our life. So when he made some remark, then we should take that and say, this is an important thing. An important thing. Whatever the spiritual master says should be taken as important and special meaning, special significance. One should never see the Guru Srinaramatir, see the spiritual master as an ordinary person. One should, even if his mood is sometimes casual, that, he may joke with us like anybody else and be casual, but his interest is only one, that the association is aimed to get closer to Krishna, to bring us closer to Krishna. His life is dedicated to be close to Krishna and to get closer to Krishna. And his life is dedicated to bring others closer to Krishna. And that's the whole thing. Whether he's joking or whether he's very serious. His plan is to bring us closer to Krishna. There's no other plan, no other intention. So therefore, our spiritual master is very important in our life. It is said the meaning of the word guru is, the etymological meaning is heavy. It doesn't mean that he is a heavy person or who comes to heavy us out, heavy duty, my guru is coming into town, watch out. And everyone's like, maybe we should quickly leave. No, not like that. Heavy, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur explains, the meaning of heavy is there because The Guru is fixed at Krishna's lotus feet, and you can't move him from there. He just, no matter what you do, you can't move him from there. He just stays there. Therefore, when we turn to Guru, we automatically turn to Krishna, because he's there at his lotus feet. So automatically, he brings us to Krishna. And that is, therefore we need that relationship, and we need to invest in that relationship. And need to take it serious. What he says, we take serious. And then, somehow or other, that will make a huge difference. That will grow over time to something more significant. Sometimes we like the picture of incarnation of the Guru better than the real life one, because the picture incarnation is always smiling. But the real one, you never know what he's going to say. So that's more scary. And it is scary because Guru, he has been given absolute authority. If you disobey him, third offense against the spirit, against the chanting of the holy name, that's serious. And the authority is absolute. Even your parents didn't have that authority. Right? You could at least rebel. Say, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not eating it. No. But no, when Guru says, take that gulab jamun, we are obliged. Oh, yes. So, what to do? Somehow or other, we can only do that by trust. By trust that he is there at Krishna's feet, and that he will take us there. If that faith is strong, yes, then we can surrender. Otherwise, we start to, when our faith is not strong, then we think, well, this instruction I like, but that one was not practical. And it doesn't make sense, I mean, it's just not practical. I can't do it. But then, better discuss. Then better come back and say, it's not practical. Anyhow, this is my little bit of advice that I'm trying to give on this day. So it is my request that after this initiation, you read the first 19 chapters of the Nectar of Devotion. Even if you read before, that you read again. Somehow or other, some 13 years ago, they asked me to teach that in Bhakti Shastri, and I said, okay, I'll do that. And then I wound up doing it 13 years in a row. Right? And it's really like, wow. And well, I missed one when I was ill, what to do. But otherwise, I've been doing it. And it's like, it really started to grow on me. Right? It's powerful. It's so powerful. It became a part of me now. And I must say, it is so nice. I really find, I don't want to teach anything else. They say, do you want to teach something? I said, no. I just want to teach that every year, because it reconnects me with that basic knowledge, and simultaneously leading up to the highest. The whole process, from Strada to Prem, from beginning to end, just so crystal clear. So it is so nice if you could just read that as a meditation. I would appreciate that. Okay, so then I have spoken, and of course, when a sadhu is here, sadhu must speak. Somehow or other we must always hear from the sadhu. That is essential. And sadhu, he must speak. So at least if he desires. So we pray that Hanumat Presaka Maharaj will be kindly speaking a few words to bless all these devotees. Can we move the microphone?
I would just like to say that Kadamba Kanana Maharaj has made a very complete presentation, and I have nothing else to say.
Any questions? Please all ask a question. Your first is really good. Ask a question. Yeah.
If you can elaborate a little more about the importance of the negative devotion.
Oh my goodness. Extra devotion. Well, I guess Prabhupada says it's Rupa Goswami's opus magnus. Rupa Goswami wrote so many books like that. But he calls, Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the complete science of devotional service. And it is, the Bhagavatam goes 18,000 verses, right? And then the Chaitanya Charitamrita is a Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class. So I don't know how many verses. But Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu then summarizes everything like that. So it's a complete summary of all of our work. I heard one devotee, Bhadravardhan, was a very nice brahmachari. He said that when it was first released in Los Angeles, Prabhupada said, "Now read this book 6 times, right? Yeah. And all of your questions will be answered. Not that you say, what is this? What is this? Say, go on, read it again and again like that." And of course, Dhanara Maharaj has very, very nice, supplement, perspective, waves of devotion, which gives a very nice explanation of a lot of the intricacies and things that, difficult to understand because they probably had to do it quickly and many things like that and so on. So it's essential, right? Essential book. Western way, Eastern way. Eastern part is again, what is devotional service? Who can be a devotee? Sadhana bhakti, raganuga bhakti, and sadhana bhakti, then bhava and prema. Southern part focuses on bhava. The western part focuses on the 5 primary rasas. The northern part then talks about the secondary rasas and mixture of rasas. So it's very complete. But Rupa Goswami wasn't feeling it was complete enough. So he composed another book after that. Ujjvala Nilamani. And in there he says, and now I'm just going to talk more about just all the Madhurya Ras. So we have a very, 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 very complete tradition. Even scholars of theology, they comment that Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is, maybe the best presentation of all these different mellows and feelings. Because Teresa of Avila and so many people, they experience the same things, right? The same things. But then they describe it. But Rupa Goswami describes it so, scientifically. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki jai. Okay. Thank you. Back home, back to Godhead.
Other question?
Yeah.
Just ask a question.
Maharaj mentioned how Guru has the feet of Krishna, and if you get Guru, then we automatically turn to Krishna. Could you speak a bit more about that?
About Gurus at the feet of Krishna, and if we approach Guru, we automatically surrender to Krishna. Yeah. Some household, okay. Here's Mommy and Daddy and Susie. Susie tries to sneak into the house at 9:15 on a Wednesday night, And Daddy catches her and says, "Hey, what time is it?" "It's 9 o'clock." "No, it's 9:15. Okay. And you know the rules. If you get back after 9 o'clock on a school day night, you're grounded for a week. You know. So the problem is that next Saturday is the big dance, and Tommy invited Susie to go to the big dance, so she's going to be grounded now. You know. So Mommy comes along and says, "Oh, Daddy, you know, I'm sure Susie agrees with this, but maybe we can just postpone it a week, and she can be grounded 1 week in the future." You know. So Daddy is hoping Mommy says that, but he can't do it because he has to, you know, hold down the rules and regulations and so on. So Krishna has to be God, right? He has to, you know, be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he expands himself as Lord Nityananda, as Lord Balaram. In that sense, his only business is to take us to Krishna. But he adjusts in such a way that in different circumstances, then we can find an access. Otherwise, Krishna is just too great, too heavy like that, and so on. So, Guru Tattva. Very nice stories about Lord Nityananda, no? How he, you know, did things to get people to Krishna. Yeah. Okay.
That was great.
Okay, you like that? Susie.
Mommy, Daddy, Susie, and Tommy. That was I liked it.
Yeah. Which was Tommy?
Yeah.
Tommy Tattva. Yeah. Okay. What is it? In Macbeth, right? Macbeth, Prabhupada said you can teach Shakespeare in the Gurukula. Other things too. Macbeth says, if 'twere done, 'tis best 'twere done quickly. एक और प्रश्न है? कोई प्रश्न है?
Maharaj mentioned about that for the second initiation we have to try to become saintly.
Saintly.
Yeah. So, and if not, then actually we can try to take shelter of the behavior of equality.
Yeah.
So, how to do that actually? Most of the time we try to usually we try to follow that, most of the time we deviate from those behaviors. So, how to actually just not deviate from that and just be on that path so that we become saintly.
Wow. My focus has been the nectar of instruction. Yeah, it has been Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And Prabhupada talks about Diksha in, verse number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, verse 5. Reading it again and again and again and again and again and again. And finally it comes around that second initiation is actually initiated, Prabhupada says. Second initiation is spiritually initiated. And there's a conversation in London, like maybe a 35-year-old, 30-year-old Indologist. And a nice person, but little proud of his knowledge. So he asks Prabhupada, so are you giving Diksha? And Prabhupada says, yes. And he asks him to the girls, and Prabhupada says, yes. Then Prabhupada says, he says, first we give Harinam Diksha, which is more or less experimental. And then when we see that the devotees are properly qualified, we actually initiate them. Okay. Then he goes on to say, but Jiva Goswami says, in this age, Harinam Diksha is sufficient, if you follow it, like that and so on. So this second initiation is really Brahman. At that point you realize the deities are actually spiritual. Yeah. But Brahman is also, again, a very general thing. What is it? Everybody heard the railroad train was coming. The British British were bringing a railroad into some remote part of India. And first they're, cutting through the jungles, and they're putting these iron rails, and everybody's wondering what is a railroad train. So everybody came, and that was, of course, in India it was late. The train was late in India. But finally, way off in the distance, it's getting dark and getting a little bit darker. You see this something kind of moving, this smoke coming out. And so some people said, oh, the railroad train is a cloud of smoke. They went home for dinner. And the second group waited a little longer, and they saw then the train coming and said, no, it's a cloud of smoke, but in the cloud of smoke is a snake. Okay. And the last group even waited longer, and they saw then it pulled in. There were people sitting inside reading newspapers, and a dining car, an engineer like that. So Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Brahman is this general, and of course that sometimes we deviate. Different things happen, we're deviated in certain ways. When it's more concentrated, then there's third initiation, Goswami, and then we begin to see the features, Sat-Chit, of Brahman, like that. And of course, but only when we come to Ananda, can we actually become, fully fixed. And so it's going to be, we're going to deviate. And, it's just the whole process. Everybody's different. So the Bhagavatam, everything else, right, has so many detailed processes for different people, different circumstances. But basically, following the rules and regulations strictly and keeping good association. Those are the two things like that. So associate with devotees, dadati pratagrinati guyamakati parchati, giving and receiving prasad, I'm asking confidential questions, and then, we're fixed within the boundaries, and then we make progress, and we just become more purified, and then we just don't deviate. Little child, they start to walk. How many times do they fall down every day? And they start walking continuously. How many people have fallen down within the last day? Fallen down while you're walking? One person, 2, 3. It's just not common anymore. So I said, just continue with the process with determination, and you'll see that it goes away. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Can you move this a little bit?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
I wanted that also, after. What happened to the necklace? Oh, good. Yeah, I see.
Sorry.
Very good. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama. Everybody chant. Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Doesn't have to be all together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Okay, chalo. Let's do it. Takes too long. Jamie, if you get up and get behind him, you also do the obeisances. come a little closer. Okay. Upenda, welcome on this auspicious day. And Upenda is from Sydney, from the congregation of Sydney and also of the New Gokul temple, where he regularly goes. And so what are the 4 regulative principles that you promise to follow for the rest of your life?
No digging. Sex.
And then the meat eating, we usually promise a few more times.
No fish.
Yeah. Okay, and how many rounds are you promising to chant every day? Minimum. Okay. From this day on, you will be known as Uday Garanga. Uday Garangadas. So, Uday means awakening, right? So, the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, that is awakening in our heart, and also that we are an instrument to awaken that mercy in the world. And by that mercy of Gauranga, everything becomes possible. Uday Gauranga. Then, that is Kaja, next is you. So, yes, please, you done the obeisances? Yes, you're first now, yeah. So, you come this way. Gosh, where are these beads? Full flat. On this day it must be full. Now a little closer to me, so yes. Okay. So what are the 4 regulative principles you promise to follow for the rest of your life?
No meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling.
And the meat eating a little more elaborate?
No eggs, no fish.
Ah, very good. And how many rounds do you promise to chant?
Minimum 16 rounds.
Every day, yeah?
Every day.
Yeah, good. Okay. Then your name from this day on will be Janalada. I'll give it to you. So just like Prahlad, you have Janalad. Janalad. So, Janalad. Now, Janalad, right, it means, Alad means pleasure, and Jana means people. So the one who brings pleasure to all people. I know you have to get used to that one. But it is actually a nice meditation. Yes, you can both come together, husband and wife.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. San Francisco.
Janalad, huh? San Francisco.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishna. Ram Ram. Krishna. Ram Ram. Hare Krishna. Krishna. then she can sit next to you. Okay, so Salish, what are the 4 regulative principles you promise to follow for the rest of your life?
No eating, no exercise, no intoxication, no gambling.
And meat eating in a little more detail?
No animal product, and even including nothing.
Fish.
And fish.
Yeah, good. And what are the... how many rounds will you chant every day?
Minimum 16.
Minimum 16. So, I thought of a name from the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is known by many names, so a name of Krishna. So from this day on you will be known as Sarvatma Das. Sarvatma. Sarva Atma. So the soul, the super soul in the heart of all living beings. Sarvatma. So we're never alone. Krishna is always with us. Yeah, you wait till she's also done. you're in it together. It's like when we take initiation, husband and wife together, it's a great blessing because you're supporting each other and it makes it much nicer. So that's why it's nice you're taking together. Okay, what are the 4 regulative principles? And meat eating in more detail.
No fish, no honey, nothing animal products.
No, good. Then how many rounds are you promising to chant every day? Very good. I'd written down a name, but as I was here, I changed it. That happens to me sometimes. So I'll write it down after. Yeah? Your name from this day on will be Kalpa Vriksha Devidas. So that means wish-fulfilling desire tree. The servant of wish-fulfilling desire. So may you fulfill the desires of everyone. But the real desires, not the false desires. Everyone ultimately wants Krishna. So Kalpavriksha means help everyone to serve Krishna and give everyone Krishna somehow. Kalpavriksha Devidas. Is it good? Savatma. Thank you. It's nice to be a tree. I'm also, Kadamba Kanana is also a tree. I'm a whole forest. Yeah. So what are the 4 regulative principles you promise to follow for the rest of your life?
No eating meat, fish or eggs, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and
And how many rounds you promise to chant every day?
minimum 16.
Okay. Then from this day on, you will be known as Suvarna Rupa. So Suvarna means golden. and Rupa means form. So of course there are two personalities with the golden form, and they're intimately connected. One is Śrīmati Radharani, the other one is Lord Chaitanya. So I'm not sure who the name refers to. I think to both, Sometimes you can be in the Vrindavan mood, and other times you can be in the mood of Lord Chaitanya and just flood the world with the mercy. So in this way, just as you have in material life two identities, you're Australian and Swiss both, now you have also serving two identities, Vrindavan and Mayapur. The sweetness of Vrindavan and the causeless mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Thank you very much. And of course in Australia no one will say Suvarna Rupa. You're lucky if they say Suvarna.
Yeah.
And of course Uday Gauranga also, they'll say Uday. But that's Australia. But still, even if they say it, even if they say it or not, these second parts of the name, it's there for our meditation and very important. Very important. It's like by some arrangement, okay, I am a disciple. I joined ISKCON just after Prabhupada left. So I became a disciple of Bhavananda Prabhu, and then somehow or other later, so he gave me the name Kadamba Kanana. But then Jayadvaita Maharaj, who initiated me later, he added Rasa Parayana, so that was quite a mouthful. Kadamba Kanana Rasa Parayana. It's a long name. Yeah? And people would go, Vrindavipi, Niva, finish the song. And so I wasn't using that Rasa Parayana in public so much, but it was actually a nice meditation, because Rasa Parayana means absorbed, absorbed in the relationship, absorbed with Krishna. So I was actually, it deepened my meditation. So even if the name is if it's not always pronounced, second part, it's a great blessing. Uday Gauranga and Suvarna Rupa. Okay, then this part's complete. So the vows are taken, the initiation is basically there, but the whole yajna will be there to invoke further blessings. And also to make a sankalpa, to fix our mind that we will remember the Supreme Lord and the great acharyas, the great personalities whose names are invoked. We always take shelter of them, and by these names that are invoked in mantras, we get their mercy. All the way touching. Yeah, great. So the fire is started. I'll do a soft kirtan, if that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
So we'll take some grains in their fingers like this. And when we say the swaha, we'll throw them into the fire. So repeat these mantras. We can all say these mantras. Om Ajnana Timiranjasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Swaha. Throwing the grains. Swaha Swaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Vidamayam Tadati Tandikam Swaha 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 Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Anvitam Tam Sijivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijna Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Pitamscha Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmati Kadamba Kanana Rasaparayana. No, don't leave that. Don't say that. You don't leave that one out? It's just gone. Swami Nityanamane Swaha 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 Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Swaha 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 Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavari Paschatcha Desataline Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Namine Swaha 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 Shiva Shivanavi Devi Daitaya Prabhupada Krishna Sambandha Vijnanadayane Prabhave Namaha Swaha 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 Madhujajvala Premaja Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Swaha 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 Namaste Gauravani Srimurte Vinatarane Rupanuga Virudapasidanta Dvantaharane Swaha 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 Namo Gaurkishoraya Sakshat Varagya Murte Vipralamba Sambodhe Padambujaya Te Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Bhaktivedanta Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Surupaya Rupanuga Varayate Swaha 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 Gaura Vibhava Bhumeshtham Nidishta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Swaha 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 Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvase Namaha Swaha 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 Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Swaha Swaha Swaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Swaha Swaha Swaha. Jayatam Surato Pango Mama Mandha Materigati Matsavasva Padambojo Radha Madna Mohano Swaha Swaha Swaha. Divhad Brindaranya Kalpa Drumadha Śrīmad Ratnagara Simasanasto Śrīmad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Kristalibi Sevjamano Smarami Swaha Swaha Swaha. Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamshivata Tatastita Akashan Venusvane Gopi Gopinata Shrestuna Swaha Swaha Swaha. Tapta Kanchana Gaurāṅgi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Swaha Swaha Swaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Rasadi Gauda Bhakta Vrinda Swaha Swaha Swaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Swaha Swaha. So you can stand, just put the rest of your rice in your cupped hands with the banana on top and stand up. I'll chant these two mantras and just carefully put the bananas on top of the fire. Just don't hold back. So just come forward a little bit. you can chant these prayers along with me. Om Namo Brahmanya Devaya Ko Brahmanha Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Punambada Punamidam Punat Punam Pudachate Punasya Punam Adhaya Punameva Vasishyate Swaha.
Please don't throw your banana in the fire.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I can start speaking.
Yes, please.
Hare
Hare